What's up, guys? This is... Oh, crap. She keeps me on the straight and narrow, mostly. Hey guys, my name is Josh, and together we are going through part 25 of the Montana CDL Manual for 2016. And don't forget to check my pants for all of the information that you should be aware of. Not because I tell you to, but because I think it would help you. And also, I forget what I was gonna say. Literally gone. Out of my head. Okay, well, let's just get started with what we were gonna talk about. We just did part 24, where we ended on page 6-4, and now we're on the bottom of that page, starting with combination vehicle air brakes, 6.2. Okay, you should study section 5, air brakes, before reading this. Does it... What?
You did that.
Yeah, but does anybody really read this stuff out of order? Like... I'm a lefty, but I'm not going to go to the back of this book and read it backwards. That doesn't make sense. In combination vehicles, the braking system has parts to control the trailer brakes. In addition to the parts described in Section 5, these parts are described below. 6.2.1 Trailer Hand Valve. The trailer hand valve, also called the trolley valve or Johnson bar, works the trailer brakes. The trailer hand valve should be used only to test the trailer brakes. Don't use it in driving because of the danger of making the trailer skid. The foot brake sends air to all of the brakes on the vehicle, including the trailer or trailers. There is much less danger of causing a skid or jackknife when using just the foot brake. So essentially, that hand valve is only so you could test the trailer alone. You're not supposed to use it to try and stop the trailer because you're probably going to jackknife and do more danger than anything else. Which I can see someone doing if they panic. But if you get it in your head in the beginning that that's only a test valve, it might actually be good to think of it like the trailer test valve or something, because then you'll think, okay, never use it in driving. I don't know, that's just me. There is much, but we already said that. Never use the hand valve for parking because all of the air might leak out of... Never use the hand valve for parking because all the air might leak out, unlocking the brakes in trailers that don't have spring brakes. Always use the parking brakes when parking. If the trailer does not have spring brakes, use wheel chocks to keep the trailer from moving. Now we're on page 6-5. Section 6.2.2, Tractor Protection Valve. The tractor protection valve keeps air in the tractor or truck brake system, should the trailer break away or develop a bad leak. The tractor protection valve is controlled by the trailer air supply control valve in the cab. The control valve allows you to open and shut the tractor protection valve. The tractor protection valve will close automatically if the air pressure is low, in the range of 20 to 45 psi. When the tractor protection valve closes, it stops any air from going out of the tractor. It also lets the air out of the trailer emergency line. This causes the trailer emergency brakes to come on, with possible loss of control. Emergency brakes are covered later. 6.2.3 Trailer Air Supply Control. The trailer air supply control on newer vehicles is a red 8-sided knob which you use to control the tractor protection valve. You push it in to supply the trailer with air, and you pull it out to shut the air off and put on the trailer emergency brakes. The valve will pop out, thus closing the tractor protection valve when the air pressure drops into the range of 20 to 45 psi. Tractor protection valve controls, or emergency valves, on older vehicles may not operate automatically. There may be a lever rather than a knob. The normal position is used for pulling a trailer. The emergency position is used to shut the air off and put on the trailer emergency brakes. 6.2.4 Trailer Airlines. Each combination vehicle has two airlines, the service line and the emergency line. They run between each vehicle, tractor to trailer, trailer to dolly, dolly to second trailer, etc. The service airline, also called the control line or the signal line, carries air, which is controlled by the foot brake or the trailer hand brake, depending on how hard you press the foot brake or hand valve. The pressure in the service line will similarly change. The service line is connected to relay valves. These valves allow the trailer brakes to be applied more quickly than would otherwise be possible. The emergency airline, also called the supply line, has two purposes. First, it supplies air to the trailer air tanks. Second, the emergency line controls the emergency brakes on combination vehicles. Loss of air pressure in the emergency line causes the trailer emergency brakes to come on. The pressure loss could be caused by a trailer breaking loose, thus tearing apart the emergency air hose, or it could be caused by a hose, metal tubing, or other part breaking, letting the air out. When the emergency line loses pressure, it also causes the tractor protection valve to close. The air supply knob will pop out. Emergency lines are often coated with the color red hose, red couplers, or other parts to keep from getting them mixed up with the blue service line. And this is where it's helpful to go check out Ruby's video. It's in my pants. You can click in there and you'll go to it because she shows it, and she shows coupling and uncoupling briefly. But it's good because you can get like a good, a visual to go with these words on a page, 6.2.5 Hose couplers or glad hands. Glad hands are coupling devices used to connect the service and emergency airlines from the truck or tractor to the trailer. The couplers have a rubber seal which prevents air from escaping. Clean the couplers and rubber seals before a connection is made. When connecting the glad hands, press the two seals together with the couplers at a 90-degree angle to each other. A turn of the glad hands attached to the hose will join and lock the couplers. When coupling, make sure to couple the proper glad hands together. To help avoid mistakes, colors are sometimes used. Blue is for the service line and red is for the emergency supply lines. Sometimes metal tags are attached to the lines with the words service and emergency stamped on them. And then there is a figure so that you can see, wait, right there. Okay. Now we are going on to page 6-6. If you do cross the airlines, the supply air will be sent to the service line instead of going to charge the trailer air tanks. Air will not be available to release the trailer spring brakes or the parking brakes. If the spring brakes don't release when you push the trailer air supply control, check the airline connections. Older trailers do not have spring brakes. If the air supply in the trailer air tank has leaked away, there will be no emergency brakes and the trailer wheels will turn freely. If you crossed the airlines, you could drive away, but you wouldn't have trailer brakes. This would be very dangerous. Well, yeah. Always test the trailer brakes before driving with the hand valve or by pulling the air supply, tractor protection valve control. Pull gently against them in a low gear to make sure that the brakes work. Some vehicles have dead end or dummy couplers to which the hoses may be attached when they're not in use, like when you're bobtailing. This will prevent water and dirt from getting into the coupler and the airlines. Use the dummy couplers when the airlines are not connected to a trailer. If there are no dummy couplers, the glad hands can sometimes be locked together depending on the couplings. It's very important to keep the air supply clean. 6.2.6 Trailer Air Tanks. Each trailer and converter dolly has one or more air tanks. They're filled by the emergency supply line from the tractor. They provide the air pressure used to operate trailer brakes. Air pressure is sent from the air tanks to the brakes by relay valves. The pressure in the service line tells how much pressure the relay valves should send to the trailer brakes. The pressure in the service line is controlled by the brake pedal and the trailer handbrake. But we don't use the handbrake when we're driving. We just use our foot pedal. It is important that you don't let water and oil build up in the air tanks. If you do, the brakes may not work correctly. Each tank has a drain valve in it, and you should drain each tank every day. If your tanks have automatic drains, they will keep most moisture out, but you should still open the drains to make sure. 6.2.7 Shutoff Valves. Shutoff valves, also called cutout cocks, are used in the service. I'm sorry, I'm 5. Are used in the service and supply airlines at the back of trailers used to tow other trailers. These valves permit closing the airlines off when another trailer is not being towed. You must check that all shutoff valves are in the open position except the ones at the back of the last trailer, which must be closed. 6.2.8 Trailer service, parking, and emergency brakes. Newer trailers have spring brakes just like trucks and truck tractors. However, converter dollies and trailers built before 1975 are not required to have spring brakes. What are you doing?
Am I making too much noise?
No, but it's just... I can hear you rooting around, and I keep wanting to look and see what you're doing because I'm nosy, but I'm like... Are you cooking?
No.
Oh, then I don't care. Those that do not have spring brakes have emergency brakes, which work from the air stored in the trailer air tank. The emergency brakes come on whenever air pressure in the emergency line is lost.
Sorry.
These trailers have no parking brake. The emergency brakes come on whenever the air supply knob is pulled out or the trailer is disconnected. A major leak in the emergency line will cause the tractor protection valve to close and the trailer emergency brakes to come on. But the brakes will hold only as long as there is air pressure in the trailer air tank. Eventually, the air will leak away and there will be no brakes. Therefore, it's very important for safety that you use wheel chocks when you park trailers without spring brakes. You may not notice a major leak in the service line until you try to put the brakes on. Then, the air loss from the leak will lower the air tank pressure quickly. If it goes low enough, the trailer emergency brakes will come on. Okay. Subsection 6.2, test your knowledge. Question number 1. Why should you not use the trailer hand valve when driving? What?
I need to go over there, but I don't want to use the video.
What do you need from over there?
The tea.
Your tea's right there, honey.
Where?
It's in that box.
Oh, I thought we still had some open.
No, I used it to brew. When we ordered more, I used that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the reason you don't want to use the trailer hand valve is essentially because it's not designed for when you're driving. That will actually make your trailer skid and you'll jackknife. You're meant to use the foot pedal. The only time you're meant to use that hand valve is when you're testing that the brakes are actually functional. That's all it should be called a trailer test valve or a trailer brake test valve. That's my opinion. That's Josh's opinion for what it's worth. Number 2, describe what the trailer air supply control does. I feel like it sends air back to the tanks that control the brakes for the trailers. But we're going to check that. Trailer air supply control. Trailer air supply control. The trailer air supply control on newer vehicles is a red 8-sided knob which you use to control the tractor protection valve. You push it in to supply the trailer with air and pull it out to shut the air off and put on the trailer emergency brakes. Okay, so it's the knob inside your rig that controls that valve. Question number 3. Describe what the service line is for. I feel like the service line is... I don't know. I know the emergency line takes air back to your trailers.
No, the service line, like, put the air in somewhere. No?
I'm confused about what the two are. I get them confused. I know that the service one is blue and that the emergency is red. Okay, so the service line carries air, which is controlled by the foot brake or the trailer handbrake. This is confusing to me. It sounds to me like the service airline, when you hit the brakes, that's what stops you. Like, it controls the pressure in that line, and that's what operates the brakes. And then it sounds like the emergency airline takes air to the trailer air tanks and controls the emergency brakes. Where are these getting... okay, so the emergent, and this is actually question number 4. Question number 3 is service, and question number 4 is emergency airlines. So it sounds like the service line carries air that controls the brakes when you hit the pedal. And then it sounds like the emergency airline is when the spring brakes need to come on. The emergency brakes, yeah. But I don't know, are both of them getting the air from, I don't know where they're getting the air from. I don't know. Where do the service and emergency airline get air from? That's our question for this part, because I know it makes sense what they do, but what doesn't make sense is where are they getting their air from? Is it the engine compartment? And if so, is it just from around? I don't know. It's confusing to me. Okay. Question number 5. Why should you use chocks when parking a trailer without spring brakes? Well, because eventually that trailer is going to lose the air pressure and then it won't have any brakes, because that's what the spring brakes do. They stop it from moving. Number 6, what are shutoff valves? I know that the shutoff valve at the end of the last trailer should always be closed, and the others should be open so that the lines and the relays can push air back for the brakes to operate. Shutoff valves are used in the service and supply airlines at the back of trailers used to tow other trailers. These valves permit closing the airlines off when another trailer is not being towed. You must check that all shutoff valves are in the open position except the ones at the back of the last trailer, which have to be closed. So that was correct. Okay, guys. We're going to stop here because... Wait a second. Yeah. There's honestly now we're going into the ABS, and that's a whole different ballgame. So we're going to stop, and we're going to pick it up with section 26, part 26 rather. And yeah, we'll see you shortly for that. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.